The views and opinions expressed by the hosts do not necessarily state or reflect those of the company and its management. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the guests do not reflect those of the hosts, the show, the management, and the network.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to Bloomer Babe Podcast. This is your host, Katie. Welcome to the podcast about my life, current news, lifestyle, millennial struggles, and anything under the sun. So if that sounds like your jam, please stick around. Today is March 20, 2025. It's a Thursday, and I'm recording this at the comforts of my new apartment. So kung medyo echoey, I'm sorry guys. I hope my team will be able to tweak something so that it would sound better when you listen to it. So yeah, how are you guys? March na. Matatapos na ang... Ay, hindi pala. Yeah, first 3 months ng taon. Ang bilis. Ang bilis talaga. Parang kailan lang January. And then sunod-sunod na yung mga eksena. And then March na. How are you guys? I hope everyone had a very good and restful weekend. Well, the exciting thing that happened last week was I was able to meet finally yung mga boss ko sa agency. Hi, Sir Tony and Sir Glenn. I also would like to shout out my co-podcast under this agency. Hello, Patira sa Tandem and Pinoy Mimiology. Hopefully in the future, you'd be able to guest on my podcast. I know hindi tayo parehas ng target market, might be Gen Zers and millennials, but I think there are topics na we might, have something in common that we can talk about, diba? So anyway, last week pala, this was my first time to attend an event on where I was introduced as Bloomer Babe Katie. And it was so exciting. I attended an anniversary of an aesthetic clinic. I know you are familiar of this because marami siyang ads sa Facebook. They also have TV commercials, I believe. And this is Montesa Medical Group. I've been to a lot of aesthetic clinics na medyo kabisado ko na yung mga treatments, how much are those. Minsan, there was even a time on where I was really into beauty and lahat ng mga bagong treatments, bagong gamot, bagong procedure, lagi akong updated. Montesa Medical Group is one of the aesthetic clinics that they always have updated equipments. So, for example, these aesthetic clinics kasi, let's say hair removal. So, diode yung mga hair removal treatments on where they use laser or on where they use laser so that you could have a permanent hair removal. Yung clinics, nag-offer sila ng maybe same price but you don't know kung gaano ka-effective yung machines na ginagamit nila. I forgot what it's called, but it depends on I think the energy or whatever. I think it was depending on the light strength or the laser strength kung gaano siya magiging effective on your hair sa body mo. Yeah, so I was able to meet the owner of Montesa Medical Group. Her name is Miss Ana Marie Montesa. Happy anniversary. It was also her birthday, so it was a big celebration. And they have a branch in Manila Hotel kasi dun ginanap yung event. And I was able to take a peek on their clinic and it was very social. It feels like I am in a 5-star spa. Yung vibe niya. I haven't tried the treatments yet because I wanted to interview Dr. Anna first before having any procedure from her clinics kasi baka may mga recommend siya, and also I wanted to learn more about the procedures that they offer. They currently have 3 branches. They have in Manila Hotel, as in sa loob ng hotel, Ayala Mall Circuit, Tomas Morato, and I think they're gonna open another branch, but I forgot where that is, but we'll keep you posted about it. Oh, this for the services for the girlies who are interested. They offer facials, slimming. Kailangan natin yan dahil magsa-summer na. Whitening treatments. They also have like anti-aging non-surgical treatments like Ulthera, Cutera. They also do Botox, Dysport, Mesolift, V-lift. They also have derma fillers. You could check their website. It's in montasamedicalgroup.com. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention they also have surgical services. So they do rhinoplasty, double eyelid, chin, etc. Just check their website out. Ang dami. And they have board certified doctors, and I was able to meet some of them, and they are established na in the industry, so you know that you are in good hands. So I won't delve much deep about the medical aesthetic, but I'm so excited because in the future episodes we will be having an interview with Dr. Anna. So yeah, so just to give you an update on the procedures. Ano na bang in ngayon? Ano na ba ang mas effective? Ano ba ang mas magandang treatment? Let's say Botox versus filler versus Ulthera, etc. Please stay tuned. For this episode, I would like to share some tips on what I do on my travels to make your vacation or your travels more memorable. Since last year, I've been traveling here and there. I think every month, umaalis ako. I want to travel on my own for like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. It might be domestic or international. And there are things na enjoy ko talagang gawin. This is not your typical travel advices, but I think you might get some tips in here na you might do on your future travels, especially if hindi kayo yung medyo budgeted or hindi kayo yung nagmamadali. Like, you would be staying on that place for a bit long time, like 2 or 3 weeks nga. Because of that, I know the merong mga travels na, you know, every detail has been planned. May mga itinerary. Alam mo yung bawat minuto, sinusulit. Parang in a day, you go to like 3 to 5 tourist spots. But there are also travelers just like me. Minsan hindi ako umalis ako nang walang itinerary. Medyo chill lang yung tita mo. I have no fixed plans usually and just, you know, go with the flow. Basta what I do is I research before going naman, syempre, diba? I research online on where do tourists go, ano yung mga food trips, ano yung mga restaurants, what can I do when I am in there. So, yung mga ganong bagay. But for this episode, try to picture out that you are a traveler that would stay for a long time, maybe 2 weeks to a month. Okay, I'll share you some tips on how can you make your trips more memorable, not the usual, you know, punta sa touristy spot, picture, and then uwi na. Okay, so first, ito, medyo importante to. If you are not on a budget and you're okay to pay for the tours, I suggest you book a city tour bus. You can book it through Klook. So bago ka, you know, maglakad-lakad ng walang direksyon, try going for a city tour bus. Alam ko, medyo mukhang touristy to, but trust me, it's a good way to get a quick overview of the whole city. Makikita mo na agad kung ano mo yun, kung saan yung interesting spots or kung ano yung itsura ng city. Pwede mong i-take down note kung ano yung mga gusto mong balikan. Para ka nag-scan ng menu bago ka mag-order. Mas may direksyon ka kung saan ka pupunta. Okay. Second tip is, huwag kang mag-commit sa isang accommodation if you have the privilege to do so. Okay, so alam ko kapag nagta-travel tayo is naka-ready na agad. Of course, the tickets, naka-ready na rin yung accommodation kasi alangan naman pagdating mo doon, nga ka. What I usually do is, since nag-city tour bus na ako, no, titingnan ko, where can I book another hotel na mas feel ko yung lugar? Because usually, the spots na nakukuha ko online or sa social media nga, na nakikita ko na very popular with the tourists, usually yung area na yan is maingay. If you get tired of people, crowd, or the noise, you can just move over to another hotel, maybe in a different part of the city na medyo mas maraming locals yung nakatira, or a much quieter place. So, dati kasi nagbubook ako ng buong stay ko sa isang hotel or Airbnb, sa isang sikat na tourist area. Pero, napansin ko, ang bilis ko magsawa. Madaming, kasi nga madaming tao, maingay, minsan overrated. So, ngayon, ang ginagawa ko is first few days, nagsistay muna ako sa central area para mas madali yung access, and then after a few days, lilipat na ako sa mas tahimik na lugar, somewhere na mas gusto ng locals or expats para mas relax. My other tip is try befriending a local so that meron kang tatanungan kung saan mas maganda magstay, alam mo yun, hindi super crowded, mas authentic yung experience, and mas madalas mura. Okay, so third, ang ginagawa ko is I buy perfume na magre-remind sa'yo sa trip mo. Okay. Isa to sa mga favorite na ginagawa ko. People who have traveled with, I know, alam nyo to. Every place I visit, bumibili ako ng perfume or kahit anong scented na product. I prefer something that you can also purchase in your country or wherever. For example, you buy, nakakarami ako sa Zara. So, when I go to a country, I go to a mall. Usually kasi may supermarket na rin dyan. So, magsa-side trip ako sa Zara. I get a scent na gagamitin ko sa buong trip. So that when I get home, alam mo, every time naaamoy ko siya, naaalala ko yung trip ko sa country na yun. I realized this when I had a trip with my best friend. Way back 2015 pa yata yun, or 14. It was my first time going out of the country. And nagpunta kami ng Bali. 3 kami. So yung best friend ko, tsaka yung best friend niya, well, I'm his best friend, but yung beshi niya pa, since bata pa siya, kasama namin. Ngayon, sobrang light lang yung luggage namin kasi nga lang kami, 7 kilos lang yata kami noon. Kami nag-check-in ng baggage. So, as in damit lang, and then Gina. So, etong si best friend niya, medyo heavy packer to. As in, nag-check-in siya ng bags. Hindi lang baga, as in bags. Pag nagta-travel siya. So, siya, ang dami niyang dala. Meron siyang perfume. Kaya lang, yung perfume dala niya is isa lang. So, yung perfume na yun, pinaghati-hatian namin the whole trip. Biruin mo na, doon kami for 5 days, and then yun lang yung perfume na ginagamit namin every time na lalabas kami. And, when we got home sa Pilipinas, he was so generous that he sent us a full bottle of perfume na yun. And then, every time na ini-spray ko siya, it reminds me of our trip. So, ayun lang. Na-share ko lang kasi siguro yung iba medyo nostalgic when it comes to visuals. Yung mga pictures or yung auditory, pag nakakarinig ng song, and it reminds them of a place, a person, or an event in their life. Pero ako kasi, matandain ako sa amo. That perfume was Jo Malone. Yung pinaka-famous nila yata na scent, it was the Freesia pear, I forgot, but it was the fresh one na naaamoy nyo anywhere, kahit yata sa lobby ng hotel. So, every time na naaamoy ko siya, kahit hanggang ngayon, naaalala ko yung Bali trip namin. As in that, what pops on my mind every time na naaamoy ko siya. Diba? Ang kulit lang. Scent is the strongest trigger of memory. Alam mo yun, minsan months, years na after ng trip, naaamoy mo yun, and then boom, back to the exact moment ka ulit. And super effective siyang, I can say, travel machine. Okay, number 4 is try visiting museums para mas maintindihan mo yung culture nila. So, alam mo yun, hindi lang pang history buffs ang museum. You know, nakakatulong siya para mas ma-appreciate mo kung paano nag-evolve ang isang bansa. You know, their beliefs, their struggles, kung paano nila nakikita yung mundo. Mas may depth yung yung trip mo kapag may alam ka kahit konti sa kultura ng lugar na pinupuntahan mo. Hindi lang basta sightseeing, pero mas may understanding ka kung bakit ganito sila makitungo sa tao or bakit ganun yung vibe ng lugar nila, 'di ba? For example, Vietnam. So, I know they're very famous with their egg coffee, but the reason why it was added to a coffee before is because there was a scarcity of milk during the war. So hanggang sa naging naging regular na nila to use an egg instead of milk. Same with China. Why do they drink soy milk in the morning for their breakfast? Kasi nga before, during the war, hindi sila masyado makakuha ng cow's milk or meat. So they end up getting the alternatives, the soy milk and the egg. So, isa lang yung sa mga sample. Try reading history of, kahit short lang, like a brief history of the country that you are gonna visit. Alam mo yung magagamit mo rin siya in the future. Hindi mo siya magamit sa trip na to, but yung magagamit mo yung information na yun in the future. Maybe you might delve into politics or maybe sa stocks, whatever, sa economic, whatever in the future. I hope I have time actually to read history books. Kasi kahit nga sa Pilipinas, minsan may mga turista pa, may mga foreigners ako na meet na mas marami silang alam na history about Philippines than me, na ako yung Pilipino. Diba? Medyo nakakahiya nga siya. Yun yung isa sa mga bagay na I'm so amazed about when I go to museums kasi nakikita ko history. Yeah, kahit yung mga artworks lang, like paintings. Bakit ganun yung mga paintings nila usually? So parang it symbolizes something from their past, about their culture, about the country, the people, the community, etc. Try going to museums. Okay, next. Kumain ka kung saan kumakain ang locals. Syempre, food trip is a must. But instead of relying sa, best, quote-unquote, best restaurant lists online, I think it's better if you, walk around. Alam mo, magmasid ka sa paligid. Look around kung saan maraming locals ang pumipila. For sure, legit, yan yung masarap. Hindi lang basta, Instagram-worthy, kundi talagang sinusulit ng locals yung pagkain. Ito maraming beses na akong nabiktima ng mga social media influencers, food influencers na yan. They all say, especially dito sa Pilipinas, they all say that it was so good, it was mind-blowing shit, but pag tinikman mo, meh. So, rather than relying kung anong meron sa social media, better observe yung locals. Better pa nga if you have like a local friend na pwede mong tanungin, ano bang kinakain nila, ano bang specialty dito, where can I get it, what's the best restaurant to go if I wanted to eat a dish like this. Diba? Pag ako nagta-travel, what I do is I usually eat sa mga karinderya places nila. But I also try yung mga fancy restaurant. I always have 1 or 2 on my list that I go na sinasabi nila Michelin star or like a full course meal or like the ones that are popular online. So, yun. Okay, next. Ito pa. Isa pa to sa mga bagay na I'm always excited to visit is yung grocery stores nila, supermarkets. Isa yan sa mga paborito kong gawin, mag-grocery. Ang saya kasi makita kung anong usual na binibili ng locals. Plus, pwede kang mag-uwi ng unique finds like snacks, coffee, condiments, or kahit na anong wala sa bansa mo. Actually, mas sinusulit ko pa to kaysa sa mga souvenir shop. Since nakatry na ako ng local food nila, like I ate sa mga karinderya nila, in-observe ko, let's say, condiments. Anong condiments laging kinakain nila? Can I buy this sa supermarket? And then I will bring that home. Yeah, it is an experience. It is an experience. Matagal pa ako sa grocery stores. Plus, dito na rin ako bumibili ng mga pasalubong kasi it's a lot cheaper than the souvenir shops na makikita mo. Kahit mga t-shirts, mas mura sa supermarket or yung mga ref magnets, whatever. Okay, number 7. Try to meet new people. So, try to meet locals pala. Meeting new people can make your trip extra special, makipag-usap ka sa locals or sumali ka sa mga group tours or kung game ka, try dating apps. Hindi naman para maghanap ng jowa, pero kung meron, why not? Pero para may local na makakasama ka mag-explore. Just be smart, just be safe, meet up in public places. I always try to book a food tour, a coffee workshop, or kung whatever hobby that country is in, sige go, magbubook ako. This is where I also meet new people na travelers din. Minsan nakakasama ko pa sila sa trip. Nagiging friends ko sila. So let's say they live in US, like Chicago. Dahil na-meet ko siya, I can go to Chicago and, stay at her place. Something like that. Or same thing, kapag pupunta siya ng Pilipinas, I can tour her around, she can stay at my place, whatever. Also try dating apps. Or if there is a meetup app, like meetup app, ano pangalan nun? Meetup or Time Left. If there is one in the country, I usually book for a dinner. I had a couple of dates sa ibang country and he toured me around the city. Diba? You're on a date, parang you were like in a holiday romantic getaway. But please be very careful. Alam mo yan, medyo isipin mo kung sa kayo magmi-meet, don't go with him in a not so public place, something like that. But yeah, it is fun. Okay, next, bumili ng personal na souvenir na may meaning. So, instead of typical keychains or magnets, bumili ka ng something na talagang may sentimental value for you. Or, anything that is very useful for your daily life. Ako, hindi naman siya very useful, but I usually buy postcards. Tapos, sinusulatan ko yung future self ko about my trip. Like, kinwentuhan ko siya what I did on that trip, what was memorable about the trip. And babasahin ko siya months later or years later. Minsan nga naisip ko pang gumawa ng isa pang letter or postcard letter sa magiging husband ko in the future. Pero baka, it's too much. It's like you have a little diary entry for your trip. Diba? Na mabasahin mo in the future. Okay, next is try attending a local food tour or workshop. So, isa sa mga pinakasulit gawin sa trip ay sumali sa hands-on activities ng whether it's a food tour, cooking class, coffee workshop, tea tasting, wine tasting, or kahit anong unique experience na ino-offer nila. Ang dami mong matututunan. Bonus pa is you get to meet new friends. So, related siya sa number 7, being open to other people. So, yun nga, sabi ko, you get to meet new cool friends. You get to have someone to ask about their trips. Alam mo yun, bibigyan ka nila ng tips. So, let's say, nag-meet kayo sa isang country and then he or she said na, hey, I've been to the country that you are going next. Tapos bibigyan ka niya ng mga tips kung saan ka pupunta. He or she might also provide you with contacts. Anong hotel ang pinakamaganda? Saang place pinakamagandang magstay? Next is number 10. So this is the last on my list. Try attending local festivals, concerts, or go to art galleries. Okay, so kung sakto sa trip mo na may festival, concert, or event, go book it. Kasi this is your chance na makita kung paano nagsiselebrate yung locals, anong trip nilang music, paano nila ine-express yung culture nila. And masarap maramdaman yung raw energy ng lugar. Sa art galleries naman, makikita mo yung creative side ng city. Ano yung themes na important sa kanila, paano nila nakikita ang mundo, and anong klaseng art yung sikat doon. Okay, so that's all for my list. I gave you 10. For my final thoughts, at the end of the day, ang pinaka-memorable na travel experience ay hindi lagi yung planado. Usually, yung mga spontaneous trips. It's more fun, mas exciting. May mga bago kang discoveries. Let's say, naligaw ka and then you were able to try this restaurant na ang sarap-sarap pala, meeting new friends sa pag-tour mo, sa pagkausap mo sa mga locals, mga simpleng bagay na tumatak sa'yo. So, go out there, babes, and make your travels unforgettable. Okay, so that's all for this episode. I hope you learned a thing or two or try one of my tips. If you have questions, suggestions, just send an email to bloomerbabepodcast@gmail.com. Also, like my social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. This podcast is streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. See you on my next episode, guys, and be safe. Buyers!